It was just another Tuesday at Villanova University. Students were walking to class, some were grabbing coffee. The August sun was probably shining, making the campus look like a postcard. Then suddenly, it wasn't a normal day at all. Reports started flying in about a supposed active shooter on campus. Alerts blared across phone screens, telling everyone to shelter in place. This is a message that no student ever wants to see. It transforms a place of learning into a place of fear. The routine of university life shattered in an instant. The community held its breath, waiting for what would come next. The response was immediate and massive. Police officers, armed and ready for the worst-case scenario, swarmed the campus. They moved with urgency and precision. Every second counts. They searched buildings. They swept through lecture halls. They secured perimeters. From the outside, it looked like a scene from an action movie. But for the students huddled inside classrooms, under desks, and in locked dorm rooms, it was terrifyingly real. They were trying to stay quiet. After a tense and thorough search, law enforcement gave the all clear. So, what is swatting? Let's break it down. SWAT stands for Special Weapons and Tactics. These are elite, heavily armed police units. They respond to high-stakes situations like hostage crises and active shooter events. Swatting is tricking emergency services into dispatching armed officers to an address. The swatter fabricates an extreme, violent story. Police respond with overwhelming force. It's a weaponized prank. The goal is chaos and fear from a safe distance. They hide identity with technology. Spoofing can make a call appear from the victim's phone or from the victim's address. This is how a spoofed call can be routed from the swatter to 911 to police. The swatter might claim they've committed a terrible crime or are holding people hostage. Dispatchers hear a dire scenario and send a SWAT team. A system meant to protect becomes a tool for harassment and terror. Swatting is not a harmless joke. It is dangerous and potentially deadly. Officers arrive expecting a war zone and are on high alert. When a swatting incident targets a university, the impact extends far beyond the initial moments of panic. The psychological toll on students is immense. Imagine being a first-year student new to campus and living away from home for the first time. An active shooter alert transforms your dorm, your new home, into a potential danger zone. The trust and sense of security that are essential for a healthy learning environment are shattered. For days and weeks afterwards, students can experience heightened anxiety trouble, sleeping difficulty, focusing on their studies. Every loud noise in the hallway or unexpected fire alarm can trigger a fresh wave of fear. This trauma is not limited to students. Faculty and staff are also deeply affected. A professor's job is to educate and mentor, but in an instant, they can be forced into the role of a protector, keeping students calm. This experience can lead to burnout and significant emotional distress. The academic mission of the university also suffers a direct hit. A single swatting event can cancel an entire day of classes, labs, exams. Furthermore, the campus can feel like a crime scene for hours, if not days, afterward. Swatting replaces that spirit with suspicion and fear. For law enforcement agencies, swatting incidents present a nightmare scenario. When a 911 call comes in reporting a violent, in-progress crime like a mass shooting, officers are legally and ethically obligated to treat it as real. They cannot afford to hesitate or second-guess because if the threat is genuine, any delay could cost lives. This means they must deploy a full, robust response, often involving dozens of officers from multiple jurisdictions, tactical teams, negotiators, and emergency medical personnel. They are essentially forced to respond to a ghost, but a ghost that could, in theory, be real. The financial and logistical costs of these responses are staggering. Mobilizing a SWAT team and other emergency services for several hours is an incredibly expensive undertaking. It costs taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars for each major incident. More importantly, it diverts critical resources away from genuine emergencies happening elsewhere in the community. While a large portion of a city's police force is tied up at a university campus chasing a phantom threat, someone experiencing a real home invasion, a car accident or a medical crisis might have to wait longer for help to arrive. Swatters are, in effect, playing a game with the public's safety. Catching the perpetrators is also incredibly difficult. Swatters are often tech-savvy individuals who are skilled at covering their digital tracks. They use sophisticated methods like virtual private networks, encrypted messaging apps, spoofing technologies, sometimes bouncing their signal across multiple countries. This turns the investigation into a complex international cyber forensic challenge. Law enforcement agencies must work with technology companies and international partners to slowly and meticulously unravel the digital breadcrumbs, a process that can take months or even years to yield a suspect. In response, officials are adapting their strategies. Many police departments are providing specialized training to 911 dispatchers to help them better identify the potential hallmarks of a swatting call. They are also working with universities to create critical incident registries, where residents can voluntarily provide information about their address, which might help police recognize a potential hoax. Furthermore, lawmakers are pushing for stricter penalties for swatting, reclassifying it as a serious felony with significant prison time. The goal is to create a stronger deterrent and send a clear message that these are not pranks but serious crimes with devastating consequences. The rise of swatting is a frightening development, but it does not have to define the university experience. In an era where a phone call can trigger a campus-wide crisis, both institutions and individuals have a role to play in promoting safety and preparedness. For universities, the first step is robust communication. Schools need a multi-layered emergency alert system that can reach students and staff instantly through text messages, email, social media, and on-campus sirens. They also need clear, simple protocols for lockdowns and evacuations. Practice these procedures through regular drills, much like fire drills. Drills reduce panic and create a more orderly response. It's about building muscle memory for safety. Universities can also work proactively with law enforcement before an incident occurs. This involves sharing detailed campus maps, floor plans, and access points with local police departments. Establish a direct line between campus security and the 911 dispatch center to verify information quickly. On the technology front, encourage students and faculty to be mindful of their digital footprint. Avoid oversharing personal info online like a dorm address or a class schedule. For students, awareness without anxiety. Sign up for your university's emergency alert system and make sure your contact information is up to date.